Thank you. So that said, allow me to just take a few of your minutes to just give you a brief about why are we doing this? Why are we here today? And who is this GON that we're talking about? So Arafat, you'll be managing that for me. But we all understand that as a world, we are at a time when there is a crisis. And this crisis is the huge youth budge that has continued to grow over and over time, not just here in Kenya, but across the world. And when our leaders sat down back in 2015 and were talking about the Sustainable Development Goal, they dedicated a whole goal towards addressing this menace. Goal 8, talking about decent work. So as GYN, we are responding to this call to action for us to be able to tackle the increasing pressure and the limited opportunities for young people across board. Sorry, if we can go to the next. So the Group Opportunity Youth Network is an initiative that is seeking to address this huge, growing youth budge. And the Group Opportunity Youth Network has taken a 6-pillar strategic approach. And I won't go everything, but some of the things that I would want you to take note is that we are a place-based kind of project or kind of initiative. That means that we are keen to customize our solution to the specific zones where we are implementing. We acknowledge that in as much as young people are the center of this problem, they also have a voice, and they also have an asset that needs to be exploited for us to be able to address these ongoing menace. And that means our approach or our initiative is youth-centered and taking into consideration issues of youth voice. And we are not just doing this out of the ordinary or just out of the blue moon, but we have taken time to be able to get into research and understand the economy, for example, for Mombasa, trying to understand where are these jobs, where are these opportunities for young people, and what is this that needs to be done to be able to accelerate these opportunities. Because one of the key challenges that you've experienced in the past is that there have been a lot of fragmentation in implementing youth solutions or solutions targeting young people. But as GOIN, we are trying to get this data, get this information so that we're able to inform the foundation of the next initiatives, and as well as bringing the partners together to be able to address this together. If we can go to, so that's how we are currently spread across the globe, currently in 6 communities. In Africa, we are currently in 3 communities. And Wakini just launched sometimes late last year. Senegal is still in the process. They just settled on a community, I think a month or so ago. And we have Mombasa in Kenya. Beyond that, we are in India, in 2 communities in India, as well as Sao Paulo, and also in Colombia. So that's how we are currently mapped out, or we are currently spread across the globe. But as I mentioned, in each of those communities, we are implementing place-based interventions that are customized to the specific of those communities. So a brief overview of Mombasa, where we are at, such a beautiful county. So Mombasa happens to be one of the oldest towns in Kenya. And from our research and from the census data that we could just collected the other day, we have a population of around 1.2 million, and out of that, young people constitutes around almost 50% of that population at 500 plus thousand. And out of that population, 373,000 young people are what we have qualified as opportunity youth. These are young people who are not in employment, who are not in education, or who are not in any form of training. 373,000 young people. And this number has not stopped from increasing. I mean, every other year we are ushering in a cohort of young people into this age bracket or into this category. So that number is what we are focusing on, or is the number that we are trying to intervene in. And we have taken a quite elaborative kind of approach. Number one, I mentioned about the evidence building and the research. That's what we've been doing over the last 1 year, trying to gather data as well as understand the Mombasa ecosystem. We have brought on board a collaborative structure, trying to get rid of the fragmentation that has been there and trying to bring all the ecosystem players together for us to be able to address these menace. But as well, we have mapped out pathways, or if you want to call them, industries that have the potential to be able to create these employment opportunities or entrepreneurship opportunities for young people. And some of them, hotel and tourism, it's very big here in Mombasa, but has very huge potential, but we have not fully utilized it. Talk of the health sector, talk of the creative and art sector, as well as, of course, the MSc, entrepreneurship sector, that we also have identified as a possible industry that can be able to create as many opportunities for young people. So basically, these are the young people that we are talking about. Total population of young people between 15 to 34 years at 562,000. Unemployed, 247K, but if you look at the total of those that I mentioned to be opportunity youth, they are either underemployed or unemployed, leading us to 373K. But we also acknowledge that young people are not homogeneous, and we've gone further to be able to, understand the various characteristics that these young people possess. And this is to enable us to, customize the interventions that we're running to be able to respond to their very specific needs. So quickly, we can go to a good example of the research that we conducted is trying to understand what are the challenges young people are facing while operating their business. And this forms the foundation of our conversation today. The issue of registration and taxation, or lack of relevant information or factual information on policies and on, taxation, government policies that are guiding the industry was identified as one of the key issues. And as GOIN, we went further to conduct a random survey with young entrepreneurs around specific topics or specifics, policies. And if you go to the next slide, you're going to realize that some of the findings that we got out of these were quite, worrying. For example, we asked young people about, their level of information or their level of understanding about business registration in Kenya. And only 25% of the young people responded to us and said that they are confident with their level of awareness. We asked them about, taxation. Do we understand the various tax regimes that we are currently implementing in the country? Talk of the digital tax that was introduced recently and others. And 0% of the young people express confidence in this. And the whole population was like, yeah, I need more information on this. We talked about contract law. We asked them about intellectual property law, for example. We know Mombasa has so many artists, for example, who, would be worried about, their inventions and their artistic work. And only 25% of we might be able to take these, build this room and take it to our other sub-counties and host it with other young people at the sub-county level. So that's what has brought us here, and I must say that I'm very proud of our partners, Pure Pearl Foundation, for supporting us to get this started, and I'm really looking forward to what the next 3 months hold. So as a young person seated here and as a young person following this online, don't sit on this information. Share it with your friends. Invite your friends to be able to, listen to the sessions. We'll be bringing you learned Fred guests. I'm also afraid to a learned Fred today, so we'll be bringing you our learned Freds from the various companies that we have in Mombasa and beyond, to be able to share this information with us. And if you would want to have a personal follow-up, maybe after the session, they'll still be here with us, talk to them, and we hope that by that, we will be moving the 16 and the 25% to 50 and beyond, or to a point that we all understand. So I want to stop there and welcome everyone to the session, and let's all learn. Back to you.
Okay, since we've had a lot of what GOIN is. Tumesikia Pure Pearl here and there. Some of us don't know what Pure Pearl is. So Dr. Safia, who is the founder of Pure Pearl, was supposed to be here and tell us more about Pure Pearl, but she is not here. But she's being represented by Mr. James Katana from Pure Pearl. So let's give him a round of applause as he comes up and tells us what Pure Pearl is and what it's all about. There you go. Sorry.
All right, thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. You okay? Thank you. My name is James Katana. I'm representing Pure Pearl Foundation, and I just need to introduce to you what Pure Pearl Foundation does. Pure Pearl Foundation is actually a charitable organization that was formed to empower young girls for a start, and basically it was actually looking forward to providing sustainable support and relief where possibly. Pure Pearl Foundation has quite a number of thematic areas that of course is actually dealing with one major being the education. We all understand that education becomes the pillar of development in our community. And statistics have actually given us a lot of information, of course a lot to tell us exactly that we need to do something around education. So we're coming in as a stakeholder to support young girls in particular, not forgetting also the young boys. So it's more of the teenage girls, but also with some emphasis on the teenage boys as well, supporting them with a little bit of sponsorship towards their education. So that's key. Now we understand that while the teens are actually in school, they equally need to have a conducive environment of which they can actually thrive well in their education. That's where we also have a number of activities that we also emphasize on within the school environment. Basically, trying to see exactly how now the students can actually thrive well. We do conduct what we call the Speak Initiative, which of course everybody understands. It's just basically the debate, just trying to build the analytical skills and communication skills of the students to be in a position to apprehend exactly what they're supposed to learn in school. And this has actually helped quite a lot in terms of ensuring that the students develop an quite analytical skill in line with what they're actually kind of like trying to learn in school. It's a complementary, it's kind of like a complementary initiative, which of course now involve the students, the teachers, the actors, and equally the community at large. Okay? And we understand that, of course, being in an environment that has actually been globally depleted, we also try to build some environmental leadership skills within the students in the schools by conducting quite a number of initiatives in line with that. We've initiated the green clubs where young people understand exactly how they should actually go green within the school initiative, trying to build an investment at an early stage within the students so that as they grow to be older people, they already understand how to be responsible within the on the environment. And equally, we are planning to do what we call enterprise, which is basically kind of like bringing competition in schools to develop innovative ideas on the green initiatives so that now they can also be responsible on the environmental fraternity. We understand that the students do not live just within the school environment alone. They also have a community arm where they normally belong to. So we also have some community engagement initiatives where we engage the community in one way or the other around the environment where they live in. We all know that our students have actually been affected mostly by the mental illnesses, and that's also one aspect that we've actually put or incorporated in our projects. So we're also providing some mentorship initiatives on mental health so that now we can at least revive the mental status of our young people so that they can be, they can think as sanity, they can think actually in the right way as it's supposed to be. Now, we also look at the aspect of how then we can also build the environment at which now these students will be living in the future. Okay? Once a student is in school, at one point they will graduate and they will get back to the community. And they will want actually to live just as any other normal person. So how then is the environment at which now this teen will be living in? Now having graduated from a teen to a youth, where most of us are at the moment. So how then do we actually incorporate that? So as PurePal, we are bringing in a reach of experience in terms of the labor market skills. And I think that that's actually one of the basic things that actually bring us into this partnership today. And we have a number of our people who actually reach in terms of the labor market information that we normally love to share with young people so that they can actually be empowered to understand exactly how to go about their labor market initiatives. Just like how we've actually had here, that of course we have a number of young people who have expressed some gaps in terms of knowledge. So we are coming in a partnership with GOYN and the Swahilipot so that now we can, of course, now bring the technical support to such young people so that now they can actually thrive, they can understand exactly how then the businesses can be initiated, they can be registered, they can be managed, and so forth throughout that ladder to the end. That's not all. Of course, we understand there are actually vast challenges that young people actually encounter in this world, or maybe Mombasa as a general. So in the partnership, we'll be trying to understand exactly the gaps that the young people have, then seeing how best we can actually tap the technical expertise so that now we can actually bring it to the young people for them really to thrive. So I'm very much thankful for this session today because it's actually the beginning of a partnership that we have with GOYN and the Swahilipot, and we hope that, of course, now in the remaining trainings, of course, this is the beginning. After every 2 weeks, we'll actually have a training here, bringing in at least speakers who will actually be now taking the young people through some specific thematic areas so that now they can actually thrive. So thank you very much. And I'm still around. We can actually be sharing more in the course of time. From me to you, goodbye. Thanks.
Yeah, that was Mr. James Katana from Pure Pearl Foundation. And when he was talking, I kind of remembered the day we were doing the board unveiling of Swahilipot, and then we introduced Dr. Sophia Lal as the chair lady. And when I was seated right there and I was mentioning the table she's sitting and the position she's holding, it was like two tabs of a whole slideshow. And I sat down at the end of it and I was like, wow, I want to be like her. I wish she was here. Like when I grow up, I wish to be Dr. Sophia at some point. So and it's such an amazing thing to know that she's looking out for teenagers, both female and male, from when they're still in high school to before they even become youths, and trying to shape them to be leaders and the future of our country. So yes, as we continue the program, I want to introduce a lovely lady who will literally take us through our topic of the day, which is business registration in Kenya. Her name is Miss Ivy Moti, if I said it right. Kindly, let's give her a round of applause as she comes forward. So she'll introduce herself and then jump straight into the topic of the day.
Good afternoon. Hello. Kwa nini mnakaa ni kama mnataka kulala? What did you have for lunch? Eh? Mlikula lunch ama hata mjakula? Eh? Mbogi ifai kukaa na njaa. Anyway, my name is Ivy Moti. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I'm based in Mombasa. I work with Abdi Wahid and Associates Advocates. The MC has briefly mentioned about Dr. Lul. Dr. Lul is the founding partner of Abdi Wahid and Associates Advocates. She sent her apologies, and I believe she'll be joining you in the subsequent meetings and trainings you have regarding business law. So today I'll try as much as I can to have an interactive session with mostly those who are present with us over here, because I don't know if there's anyone who can, the online audience will work on engaging them at some point, yeah? Yeah. So I'll jump right into it. Feature your slide. Nilikuwa niulize. So, what's a business? Biashara ni nini? Money generating activity. Yes, someone else, please. Volunteer. Huh? Exchange of goods and services. Anyone else? Hello. What's a business? Yes. Mniangalia jibu. Money making activity. Is there anyone who has an differing or a different? So for us to understand the business laws, you first have to understand what a business is. There are many definitions regarding what a business is. You can go to the next slide. I hope you all can read. Yeah? Yes, so a business is an activity of one making money. That's Google definition. What's a company? Now that you know what a business is, what's a company? Anyone? Hey, we need an exercise. Watu wamelala. Watu wamelala. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're inaendaje? I'm lost. And you really need to show. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. What's a company? Oh wait, yes, please. Sorry. Can someone just let me? Okay. Yes. Your name? Obote. Yes, Obote. Uh-huh. Ah, lovely. Yes, clap for him, please. Huyo ameenda shule. Yes, yes, yes.
A company
Your
is...
name, please.
Oh, my name is Firdaus.
Firdaus.
Yes.
Yes, Firdaus.
Okay.
Tell
I'm
me.
just trying.
No, you're not trying. You know. Tell me.
Okay, a company is a legal entity
Uh-huh.
that's formed by individuals or a group of people to
Yes.
operate in a business or to engage in a commercial objective.
Hey,
Yeah.
and that's trying, huh? Someone else, please. I need one last person to like. Someone. I need a last volunteer. Someone that's not Firdaus and someone that's not Obote.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Amal.
Uh-huh. Yes, Aman.
Lugha mtaani. A company ni store ya biashara yako. Naweza sema hivyo.
Store ya biashara.
Maana hiyo bila store hakuna mahali utaweka biashara yako. Lugha mtaani.
So, from what you said, I am proud to have an idea of what a company is. Technically speaking, a company is just a registered business. In not so many words, it's a registered business. So if you want to do a business, you have to sort of make it legal. You have to formalize it. So, you know, like when you're dating someone, mna date. Lakini if you're not married, the government considers you what? Single. It's the same with business. It's considered non-existent if it's not sort of formalized or registered or legalized per se, for lack of a better word. So how many business laws do you know? Or rather, what is business law? Now that you guys know what a company is, you know what a business is. So what is business law?
Can I try?
Yes, please.
My name is Maham. For me, I think business law, it's any rule that governs your biashara, basically.
Yeah. Yes. Someone else, please.
Okay, business law is, again, I'll just echo what she said. It's a set of rules and regulations that are in store for a business to be protected and to just ensure smooth running of a business, a successful business.
Thank you. Someone else? Kuna watu hawajaongea? Everyone has to like speak today. Hussein?
These are rules and regulations governing the conduct of business.
I'm glad you guys are very informed. You understand what a business is. So far, you are all correct in whatever you have relayed back to me. So business laws are just the laws or regulations that govern the operation of businesses, depending on the type of business you want to venture into. So we have various sets of business laws, depending on the type of business, again, you want to specialize in. However, today we're going to focus and just have a walkover on business registration. So business registration in Kenya is governed by the Business Registration Service Act and the Companies Act of Kenya 2015. I won't dwell so much on the legalese because that will be way out of touch with what I'm supposed to inform you. However, so now the Business Registration Service Act is what came up with the Business Registration Service. Who knows e-Citizen? Yes. Hi, kuna mtu ajui e-Citizen? Unaishi Kenya gani? So yes, so now for registration of business in Kenya, as at before 2017, rather before 2018, sometime thereabout, business registration was done at the Aegis office through the commercial department. You had to go physically with forms and fill them, lodge them so that they can be registered. However, after 2015, now this Business Registration Service Act is what now came up with this issue of digitizing the registration of businesses. This is why now you register your businesses via eCitizen. It's brs.ecitizen.go.ke. So before you register a business, of course, you need an eCitizen account. You need to be an adult. If you're not an adult, you need some sort of trustee or some sort of guardian who can do the registration on your behalf. So when you get to eCitizen, anyway, when you go to eCitizen, when you log into the eCitizen portal, you're gonna see the options. You go to there's a tab where it's written Business Registration Service. Under that tab, you make an application. So that's the process of registering a company in Kenya. So under that tab, you're gonna be given options on the type of company you wanna register. And on that note, what types of companies do you guys know about? Types of companies, yes. Partnerships, yeah? Pardon? Limited liability. Pass on the mic. There's someone who's raised a hand. Amekusemea. Limited liability. Another one.
Sole proprietorship.
Another one. Types of businesses. You guys, tell me. So either way, there are different types of businesses in Kenya. So there's sole proprietorship. This is where you are uko peke yako. So badala ya kwenda na story mingi, I say I'm Ivy, but I'm trading as Ivy Traders Limited. So that's a sole proprietorship. Ile niko peke yangu. So instead of now, after that, you can now go to a private company. Private company, you can have 2 to about 50 shareholders, depending kila shareholder kwena shares zake. So that's a private company. Now that's how you distinguish a sole proprietorship and a private company. Sole proprietorship uko peke yako. Private company, you are 2 up to around 50 shareholders. And then the limited liability partnerships, yumesema zinaitwanga LLPs. So limited liability partnerships, partnership kama hizi zingine ni kama company, but it's more of a partnership. If anything happens, your liability is up to 50%, your ni 20%. Unaona kwa nini kwa company iko distributed kwa shareholders, but a limited liability, you limit how liable you are for the company's actions and to what extent. And then after that, you have companies limited by guarantee. Most of these are sort of like NGOs. No, these are companies, they're not companies, but they are sort of charitable organizations. So they're companies, but limited by guarantees. You also have public companies, for example, parastatals, tuseme kama gani sasa, Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. We have, say, National Oil of Kenya. Yeah, those are like an example of public companies. Those ones are owned by the government. So those are, so far mnapata difference? I hope so. So, and then we have foreign companies, but in such scenarios you find that a foreign company, as per the definition of our laws in Kenya, a foreign company is a company that has a headquarter in another country, but then they open a branch in Kenya. So we have companies, say like Uber. Uber, there's a parent company outside there, but then they have a branch in Kenya. So That's what an example of what you call a foreign company. So far, am I making sense? Or should I try to make more sense? Am I making sense, please? Okay, lovely. So we were proceeding with the business registration. Now that we have identified the types of businesses after you've logged into eCitizen, you now proceed to go to the Make Application tab. There, even with the registration of businesses, their names, there's a certain limitation as to how you're gonna name your company. For example, you can't name a company using offensive names. Si mnajua? Huwezi kuja useme, someone was saying, well, let me just digress a bit. Tanzania, there's a political party, Chama cha Mapinduzi. In Kenya, can you honestly, do you think unaweza kuja useme unaita kampani yako Mapinduzi? So yeah, so before you make the name reservation, you have to now keep in mind the names, the type of naming that you wanna have. You can't use initials when registering a company. Ukuja useme I am Traders. No, you have to go all the way, give it a full name. And then of course the names that's specified for the government. Kuna company body, let's even say National Oil Corporation of Kenya. That's for the government. You can't now go you can't use a name that's suggesting in any way that you are some sort of government body. So as you're making your application for name reservation, you have to keep in mind these factors. So after the name reservation, the Registrar of Companies will notify you if the name is available for registration of the business. So that will take about 2 to 3 days. All this is done through eCitizen, but you can do it by yourself or through an agent, and by an agent you can get lawyers to do the registration for you. However, the process is done entirely online. So after the reservation has been approved, that's when you get together your articles of association, memorandum of association. Now somebody tell me, what's an article of association? And what's a memorandum of association? Kuna mtu hajaongea. Again, blue, kwa mwisho. What's an article of association? Ama memorandum of association. Unajua kitu kama hiyo? Ajui. Anybody? Anyone? Somebody? Yes, kuna mtu hapa mbele.
Yes, okay, nilipitia kitambo, but I think an article of association, in terms of people who are supposed to be there, I think it's up to a maximum of 20, but a memorandum, you can consider more than,
yes,
I think up to 50 or more. Yeah.
Okay, someone else? Yes. What is a memorandum of association?
Okay, articles of association is a document that specifies the purpose of the company and the tasks that it plans to be doing. So it actually just gives you what the company is supposed to be doing and why it's running.
Clap for her. I won't even talk further. She has told you exactly what I was looking for. So when you have done, when your name has been